What if everything you ever dreamed of, gold, power, respect, was finally within your grasp? But the higher you climb, the emptier your heart feels. Could it be that greed doesn't give life meaning? It steals it. This story reminds you how greed blinds us. There was once a man named Daniel. Born in a small village, raised in poverty, he always dreamed of escaping the hunger, the lack, the humiliation of never having enough. As a boy, he would watch the merchants ride into town, their horses draped in fine cloth, their hands covered in rings, their voices commanding respect. He would whisper to himself, "One day, that will be me. One day, I'll have it all." That dream burned inside him like a fire. And when he grew older, he left his family's home with nothing but a torn bag and a heart full of ambition. In the city, Daniel worked tirelessly. Day after day, he clawed his way up, taking on odd jobs, saving every coin, outsmarting rivals, seizing every opportunity no matter the cost. Soon, he discovered he had a gift. He could persuade, manipulate, and bargain better than anyone. People began to fear him, respect him, envy him, and Daniel began to taste the intoxicating sweetness of wealth. What started as survival soon grew into obsession. He didn't just want enough, he wanted more, always more. At first it seemed harmless. After all, wasn't he just working hard? Didn't he deserve success? But greed is a clever enemy. It doesn't arrive with fangs and fire. It whispers. It tells you, just one more deal. Just one more coin, just one more win. And Daniel listened. He stopped visiting his mother, who still prayed for him every night. He ignored his childhood friends, who once shared their last piece of bread with him. He turned away from love, telling himself relationships would only slow him down. His eyes were fixed on gold, and his heart was locked in a vault. Years passed, and Daniel became one of the wealthiest men in the city. His house towered over the marketplace. His name commanded respect. Servants bowed as he passed. Yet, in the quiet of his nights, he felt a strange unease, a gnawing hunger that no feast could satisfy. He drowned it with wine. He silenced it with more deals. But deep down, he felt it growing, a shadow whispering that something was wrong. One evening, a storm rolled over the city. Rain hammered on Daniel's windows as he sat counting his earnings. Suddenly, a frantic knock shook his door. A young boy stood there, soaked and shivering. "Please, sir," the boy cried. "My father is sick, my mother has no food, and our roof is leaking. Can you spare a little coin?" Daniel's first instinct was anger. Why should he give away what he had worked so hard for? Why should he care about this boy's family when no one cared about him and his struggles? He snapped, "Go away, work harder, do what I did," and he slammed the door shut. But that night, Daniel couldn't sleep. The boy's desperate eyes haunted him. Memories of his own childhood returned. Days when his mother begged neighbors for scraps. Nights when his stomach ached with hunger. Mornings when he swore he'd do anything to escape that pain. For the first time in years, Daniel felt a crack in the armor of his greed. The next morning, he went to find the boy. He followed the narrow alleys until he reached a broken shack, barely standing. Inside, he saw the boy's father lying pale on a mat, the mother struggling to keep her children warm, their faces hollow with hunger. He froze. It was like staring into his past, like looking at the boy he used to be. In that moment, something inside him shifted. For all his riches, for all his success, he had lost touch with the most valuable treasure of all, compassion. He realized greed had blinded him. It had stolen his ability to feel, to connect, to love. And if he continued down this path, he would die surrounded by gold, but utterly alone. Daniel knelt beside the boy's father. He pressed coins into the mother's hands. He called for a doctor, bought food, and repaired the roof. But more than that, he stayed. He talked with the family, laughed with the children, and listened to their stories. For the first time in decades, Daniel felt alive. That day marked the turning point. He didn't give away all his wealth overnight, but he began to use it differently. Instead of building walls of greed, he built bridges of kindness. He funded schools for children who had none, supported families in need, and rebuilt homes destroyed by storms. And the more he gave, the lighter he felt. That emptiness in his chest, it began to disappear. For the first time, Daniel understood, true wealth is not measured by what you keep, but by what you give. Years later, as an old man, Daniel sat outside his home, not a palace, but a warm place, filled with friends, laughter, and love. Children he had once helped ran to greet him. Strangers smiled and blessed him as they passed. And as he closed his eyes for the last time, Daniel realized he had finally found what he had been searching for all along. Not gold, not power, but peace. So now I ask you, the one listening to my voice, what are you chasing? What are you clinging to so tightly that you might be missing the true treasures in your life? Greed blinds us. It tricks us into believing that having more will finally fill the emptiness inside. But the truth is, the more you give, the richer you become. The more you love, the more love flows back to you. And the more you open your heart, the lighter your soul becomes. Life's essential lesson is this: you were not put on this earth to hoard, to compete, to build walls of pride. You were placed here to shine, to lift others, to use your gifts and blessings to create light in someone else's darkness. Because in the end, no one will remember the coins you stacked, the titles you earned, or the possessions you guarded. They will remember the lives you touched, the kindness you showed, and the love you gave. So when greed whispers in your ear, when the desire for more threatens to blind you, remember Daniel's story. Remember that true success is not about how high you climb, but about how many you lift along the way. If this story touched your heart, if it made you reflect, then let it guide your steps forward. Choose generosity over greed. Choose compassion over pride. Choose to see others not as obstacles, but as brothers and sisters sharing this journey of life. Because, in the end, no one will remember the coins you stacked, the titles you earned, or the possessions you guarded. They will remember the lives you touched, the kindness you showed, and the love you gave. So when greed whispers in your ear, when the desire for more threatens to blind you, remember Daniel's story. Remember that true success is not about how high you climb, but about how many you lift along the way. If this story touched your heart, if it made you reflect, then let it guide your steps forward. Choose generosity over greed. Choose compassion over pride. Choose to see others not as obstacles, but as brothers and sisters sharing this journey of life. And if you want more stories like this, stories that awaken the soul, inspire the heart, and remind us of what truly matters, then join us here at Life Lessons Library. Subscribe now, because every week we bring you powerful stories and timeless lessons that can change the way you see the world. Remember this, my friend: gold may glitter, but love is the light that lasts forever.